Are you missing any of these core 4 jab defenses from your striking repertoire? If you're not sure, keep watching to find out. So my core 4 jabbing defenses are as follows. Number 1, the first thing I usually like getting people good at first is just simply covering the jab. This works for both the jab and the cross. Now when it comes to covering or blocking, there's different ways we can do it. I'll just show a real basic kind of Thai guard, right? Where I bring my knuckles into my head, making a bit of a keyhole, looking through it there. So as he throws that jab, I'm gonna react and I'm gonna cover by bringing my hands into my head, pinching, or surrounding the shoulders. All right, I wanna make it as strong as I can. If there's any gap between my hands and my head, it's gonna ricochet. Because that's a common beginner mistake I see as well, is people putting their hands out here. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I like catching the jab. I probably use this one the most out of all my jab defenses, especially when there's a lot of space. So if he throws a jab, I'm just gonna catch it with my front hand, okay? I'm just palm it right there, just like holding pads, okay? I find this one's good because it allows me to keep the range and opens up for some nice counters, okay? Number 3, this one's a good one, but it comes with a risk, and I'll explain that in a second. And that's when I parry or mirror side parry that jab. So he throws a jab and I parry it. So I'm parrying it now with my rear hand. Before, it was my lead hand. This is a safer option, okay? But number 3, which is that parry, okay? This is good for setting up some good leg kick counters. I could set up a head kick counter. And then from there as well, I can punch off that same attack, okay? The risk of this one, and I see a lot of people have the habit of always trying to defend the jab with that parry, is if he's smart, he's gonna pick up on me doing that parry, and he's actually gonna go around and throw a hook. So he's gonna see, yeah, he's gonna go around. So he'd put that jab out there as bait, I'll parry it, and then he'll go around and catch me with that lead hook, okay? So I love it, but it does come with that risk. So just like any kind of, like if I was attacked, I'd mix up my attacks, same thing with my defense, right? I'm not gonna do the same defense every time, okay? So number 1 was the cover, number 2 was the palm or the catch, number 3 was the parry, and then number 4 is just simply a slip or a pull, okay? A pull will probably get you a little bit further in Muay Thai. It's a little bit less risky. The slip is good, but if you have a tendency of slipping a lot and they like throwing the kick off the same side, you're gonna move your head into a kick. So the safer option would just be simply pulling back, but if you're feeling confident and you time it well, that slip is really good because again, it allows you to come in with some nice good counters, okay? So like I was saying before, mix up your defenses. Okay? If I do one style defense, every time I throw the jab, I block like that, he's gonna know to fake the jab and jab me in the body because I create that opening. If every time I parry, he's gonna go around and he's gonna throw that hook, okay? So whatever you do, and you do repeatedly, it becomes obvious they can set up their shots around what you're doing. So try to mix up your defenses. So if he's throwing jabs at me, I might palm, I might block, I might parry. I'm gonna constantly mix it up to make myself a little bit less predictable. That way he can't figure me out. So have a crack at those 4 jab defenses. And if you have any issues with it or any questions, leave a comment below and we can address those in future videos.